welcome to Vikings Weekly. Looks a little bit different today, but we're, of course, again at Barney's Beanery. Thank you, AJ, again, for letting us do this. Luke and I are here. We're going to be joined by Bernard Berrian for an exclusive interview. And shout out to Luke, because he actually brought this one to the table. How did you meet Bernard Berrian?
I got set up with Bernard Berrian being the only living Vikings fan in Los Angeles, and a friend of mine reached out, and it was a friend of a friend
Years ago.
Yeah, this is 12 years ago. And they were like, "Will you take this NFL player out with you?" Because I was all
they didn't even say Bernard Berrian.
They didn't say
like
Bernard Berrian because at the time it's like So I got hit up, and I was like, "Yeah, well, wait, let's see who it is. Who is it? Bernard Berrian. Of course I will take him out. Nobody else wants to take him out. I'm going to take this guy out." So we became buddies. He invited me to the ESPYs. I ended up schmoozing my way into getting better seats than him.
Love it.
Sorry, Bernard. And then he was impressed with that feat and invited
Every single
me.
time, by the way, we have a fucking siren that goes whenever we're doing an intro.
This is
LA.
That's supposed Hollywood for
Yeah.
you, you know? So he was impressed with my my maneuvering at the ESPYs, and he invited me to training camp, and I spent my summer in Mankato, Minnesota, getting to see Favre watch firsthand and getting my hand crushed by Adrian Peterson.
What do you mean hand crushed?
There's a famous thing that I knew going into meeting Adrian Peterson, that he asserts dominance by when he shakes a man's hand, and you put your hand in his and he crushes your hand.
Really?
To show, and he does it to everyone.
Is it like a dead stare in your eyes too? Or
I was so afraid, I don't think I looked him in the face. He was so muscular and intimidating.
Wait, where did you meet
him? At training
like the
camp.
club or
No, at training camp.
Okay.
I was on the field. He was I actually have the picture on my phone. He was coming off the field, and we shook hands for a picture, and he just crushes your hand. And there's actually a trick. If you keep your finger straight, it's harder to crush someone's hand.
This one? Your foot.
Like if you shake someone's hand,
Okay.
if you try to squeeze my hand, but then if I keep my finger straight, you can't squeeze it.
Okay.
So I went into it I'm going to watch this, AP. And I put my finger, and he broke my hand in it. So that was my experience. So we have the man himself, Bernard Berrian, joining us today for the first ever Vikings Weekly interview.
Yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulty before, so we're going to jump right into this interview.
Into the middle of the story.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's a good one, and there's going to be a lot more of these to come. So make sure you subscribe, Vikings Weekly. And
follow Bernard.
Follow Bernard.
For great financial tips.
Yes. Oh, your little preview there. I like that. Yeah, you're kind of seeing a change in coaching style in the league right now, where they're going from that military-esque more to buddies on the team. How do you think that you would have reacted to that coaching change in the league now?
To be honest with you, it really didn't matter. It make it for me. Practice it's how it goes along in practice. Game time is we're totally locked in anyway. But how are we doing during practice? I like to have fun. If I could be me and I could have some fun, I'm good to go. When it starts getting where I can't, we gotta be. It makes things uncomfortable. But as long as we're getting the work done, let's go. Everything's getting done, everything's getting accomplished. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're getting in off the field on time, earlier if not. Why can't it be fun?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that seems like the right mentality.
Game at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kevin O'Connell definitely brings in that friend dynamic because he was an ex-player.
Exactly.
Brings in that quarterback mentality, but it's so interesting to see the shift from the older generation hard-nosed coaches that have been around for 40 years, and now we have this influx of young guys who are just so focused on offense. Do you think it would be more fun to play under this? Because you obviously you played for the Bears, who, not our favorite team, but you played for them. So we can talk about it a little. 2006, you went to the Super Bowl, but that was such a defensive-minded, you led the team, but it was such a low number now. If you look at it, it was 800 something yards leading the team.
That's every day. Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. Were you did you enjoy that type, being on that hard-nosed defensive team, or would you prefer these big high-flying offenses now?
I mean, playing the position I'm playing, of course, I'm going to want the high flying offense, throw the rock every single play, every single down. But it depends on it just really depends on what team you're on. If that's what makes the team successful, like that's what was going to make our team win. We were going to live defensively on that team and through special teams. Our offense at times we had magic and we made magic happen. We scored some high points. We put numbers on the board, but it just wasn't consistent throughout the year. Like a lot of times, I don't know how many times we got lucky that season. It was just like all the stars aligned and made everything work for us that year. But and like the ball bouncing in our direction for sure. But we were led defensively, and I think it just matters what type of team you are. Like I'm a 49er fan. We talking about the Niners and the Bears. I'm a 49er fan. I got pissed off when they shifted from Alex Smith to Kaepernick.
Yeah.
It was flashy, great offense, but we were a defensive led team. 49ers were a defensive led team. They had studs on the defensive. That's how they won their games. And they let Alex Smith just control the game, do what he needed to do to make sure we sustained, and we won that way. It was easy. Kaepernick came, and it was nice because it was flashy. Now you saw the big plays, you saw the bombs, you saw 50-yard runs by Kaepernick running down the street, and it looked great. They were successful with it for one time, but it was quick. It was in and out and then gone. And then they had to revamp all over again and start all over again. So it's just, like I said, it's just really depends on what team you have and what makes them successful. Like right now, Kevin O'Connell, he played football. He was a football player. He's a quarterback. So he's going to know offense. He's an offensive-minded coach. It's always great to be on whatever position you're playing to have that type of coach on your side because you know what their focus is going to be on because it's just what they know. And right now that's what you see in Vikings football. They've always had a great defense, but now they got an offense to match with it. And you can see what he's doing and what he's implementing is working tremendously.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, going forward, I've been scared for the Vikings because I've always liked Kirk Cousins. I don't know if you're a fan, but like, I think it's one of those things where it's like an Alex Smith where he gets it done. Like you don't put the whole team on his back and be like, this guy's going to take us to a Super Bowl. But if you have all the other pieces, I think Kirk is a very good quarterback. I think he gets shit on for a lot of his flubs. I'm not going to say hasn't, thrown short on fourth down. Like that's on you, but going forward, I'm like scared of this new flashy system quarterback. Like, I'm down to win like how the Rams won with Stafford, where it was like he came in, he just did what he needed to do. But yeah, like when we drafted Kellen Mond, I was like, oh no, this is going to be like a flashy, like run all over the place and we're not going to win. So yeah, going forward, do you think Kirk, I'm usually the pessimist, but like, I don't think we're going to win this year, but do you think Kirk is somebody that could win, or do you think we need to go find something different?
I do actually think Kirk can get the job done. I kind of agree with you do. Kirk does get a lot of crap. He does get a lot of slack for I guess not being able to put him over that hump. But you can't like we're in the era now where you got to have a quarterback. Everybody's like, got to have a quarterback. Got to have a quarterback. It's got to be the big arm, strong arm, head of the team leader type. But I mean, it's football. This is the ultimate sport, ultimate team game. Like you need 11 players on that field, and you have a team around them. It shouldn't always have to be put on the quarterback's shoulders. Like he's got a team around him, so why not use those weapons and use the team around you? That's what they're there for.
Yeah. So he
does a great job with. I think he does a great job with that for sure.
So with former Viking Stephon Diggs in the news lately with like disagreeing with his quarterback and disagreeing with some coaching and stuff like that, you really get that sense that wide receivers are the biggest diva position, but you are so not a diva. It's cornerback. We all know it's cornerback.
There you go.
The wide receiver second. Like, what's your take on the diva mentality, and like how did you steer clear from being that distraction?
It's just I don't know. They actually, to be honest, it's just probably my father when I was growing up. It's because when I was in a small town. I grew up in a small town in Winton, California. It's 9,000 people now. So imagine when I was 5 years old. It's probably like 5,000-6,000 people population. Very small, very very small town. We're just barely starting to get like our third street light. now.
Oh my God.
So it's complete. There's nothing there. But so me and my brothers, we always stood out athletically, like easily. Like it was clear they're going somewhere. They're gonna do something. And it was clear from young age. So he was always Bernard. And I was the one who kind of got us started in sports. So he was always Bernard. I know you knew you're gonna do good. You don't have to, show everybody, just keep it inside. You don't know. He's always preaching, always constantly. So it kind of stuck. And then when I got older, it kind of just stuck. I'd do my whatever celebration, but it would never stood out or never did anything over and above.
That's cool. Yeah.
So I got to take it back to the 2009 was the Favre watch. That was the year you were with us, right?
2000. Yeah, I think it was 2009. Yes.
Yeah, 2009 was the year I came to training camp.
Yeah.
So it was you, Sydney. It was you,
Percy,
Sydney,
Shank.
Percy,
Yes.
Shanko, and then Brett Favre and AP. Obviously, I mean, to me, like I've been robbed twice now in my Vikings life, where I just want to. I'll never get over it. Obviously, Gary Anderson is one. And then two is Bounty Gate, which was just like you're watching it, like you were on the field when this was happening. Did you just know like something's up? They're not calling stuff. Like this is the biggest bullshit ever, or
like it didn't. I think at the time it didn't hit as hard as until afterward, and when you start watching the film and you go through and you're like, damn, they missed this. Damn, you missed this. You missed this. Like then, but like at the time it was like. All right, it was a little weird or whatever, but you didn't really the magnitude of it until, like I said, after we watched the game film and started reviewing stuff and realized it's like, damn, this is kind of really intentional. Like, and you guys missed this. Like, how can you not see this? It was really, really kind of blatant. But
do you feel robbed from that Super Bowl as we do as fans? Because as fans, we're like constantly convinced like that was our Super Bowl win. Like, no matter what, if you guys were at the Super Bowl that game, that it was championship, no question.
No, yeah, we definitely felt for sure we had the Super Bowl on lock for sure that season. There was no way we should not have not have won it or got there. Like we for sure knew like Super Bowl that year we're wearing a ring for sure.
We're gonna bring in. Get ready. Get ready. So our other host.
Don't get worried.
Don't get worried.
He's very excited.
But he's very excited. We're bringing Johnny Sweets in right now.
Oh, sweet.
Johnny Sweets. We'll see. He always has a interesting background too.
He's got the best questions. He's been calling me all week. So excited to talk to you.
John, where are you at now? Just iPhone 110. What is 110?
I don't know. He's gone now.
Oh, now he's gone.
Yeah, I was about to say he just disappeared.
Oh my God. Let me check.
He got nervous.
Yeah, no, they're all Minnesota people. I'm the LA guy who just.
Oh yeah. See, that makes sense now.
Yeah, I'm
that'd
the
be cool.
one
Vikings, Louis, like I didn't see Michael Jackson walk by my house like 10 times. What are you talking about?
All right, iPhone 110 is back.
All
we'll
right,
see. We'll see if we get him. John.
Connect the audio. Let's get some video, John.
We're back, baby. In my car.
Rolling in the car.
John.
How to do it. You know what I'm saying? B twice. How's it going, man? Nice to meet you.
What's poppin', John? What's going on?
Not a whole lot, man. You know, we're hanging out here. Happy to finally meet 87, man. Super excited.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
Let's get it. Is LJ around or not?
He's in the background. We're good. It's
Don't worry about LJ.
Just us now.
We've been talking back and forth about. We just talked about 2009 Bounty Gate and how we got robbed. That was a scarring experience, and we talked about how Bernard avoided being a diva his entire life, which is nice.
There you go. Beat the shit out of me.
So
you're not a diva receiver, Bernard?
Yeah. Am I sure? Deep down in my heart, I would love to be.
Yeah.
So we call Johnny Sweets stats because he always has a crazy statistic. Pretty deep.
Yeah.
And so, John, I got to hear what stat in question you're going to throw at Bernard because I know you.
Hell yeah, I want to hear this too.
Somewhere.
What do you got, Bernard? You're 30th all time on the Bears list right now?
Am I? I think so. Am I? I have no clue.
Yeah. You know what blew my mind was Mike Ditka's number 5.
Oh yeah, no, Mike Dick was a freaking player. He was a stud.
Yeah, he was a tight end. A lot of people don't know about that.
Yeah. He was a stud though. You don't think he's number
Yeah.
5?
5 in career for Bears. It's like that's crazy. He's 5th all time in Bears receiving yards, like Mike Ditka, right? I
He's
mean,
a freaking stud.
isn't that crazy? To me, he was like
A long career.
a defensive
asshole.
guy, right?
Oh yeah, that's what everyone thinks. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true. But
but
no,
he was
yeah,
a two-way player.
he used to beast people running and playing tight end for like. Go watch some of his highlights. Have you seen some of his highlights?
Oh yeah, he was a tank both ways.
He's a
too.
freaking
Yeah,
stud.
it's just like funny to see that the Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer. That to me is
it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Justin Fields is he gonna be that guy? You think?
You really think he's the dude?
Not to be 4,000. Not yet. No way. Not with those legs.
Yeah.
I think I'm scared of the Bears this year. I think they're up and coming. I think they'll be better than the Packers, at least. I think the Packers are in the doghouse. But
my honest opinion is Detroit. I think Detroit's gonna be.
That's what we're all afraid of.
Yeah.
I think losing DeAndre Swift was a bad move, but now I'm starting to get more afraid of Jahmyr Gibbs if he's used the right way. But
yeah,
the Bears, I think are up and coming. But all right. So on the topic of the Bears, you've played with. I'll go back to David Carr. I'll include David Carr, Kyle Orton, Rex Grossman, Brian Greasy, Tavares Jackson, Gus Frerotte, Brett Favre.
And Donovan McNabb too, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna.
Don't forget my guy.
There's probably like 7, 8 more in there too.
Yeah,
Paul
no, you got
Pinniger,
others.
right?
But I'm gonna narrow it to that. Who was?
Don't forget Paul Pinniger.
Look at him.
Who was the one you like meshed with best? Like, who was your favorite? Like, who was your go-to guy? You're good. Take your time.
Excuse me. No, well, I mean, besides obviously I said from David Carr, that was college connection for sure. Aside from that, I would have to go with it would have to be Rex. It would have to be Rex.
Wow.
That's definitely where the biggest connection I felt the biggest connection was like, all right, I'm in trouble, I'm going here. Or I need this, I'm going here for sure.
That's I was not expecting that. That's good.
How about Kyle Orton? I know he was like a dog for the Broncos for a couple of years.
Yeah, I love Kyle, but we didn't really have that. We didn't have that Kyle Kyle was still a rookie when he got his start. So he was really, really young. It was like, ooh, it was a defensive minded team. So like any type of slip up or mess up on the offense, it was you got shot in the head, like they killed you. So it was that year we struggled a lot offensively, especially in the passing game. We definitely struggled a lot in the passing game that year. But he had success. We won, so it worked. So there was a big controversy on who should actually be the starter that next year. But as far as being on the outside and on the edges, we knew like, no, we need Rex.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about success. It looks like you had success everywhere you went. Outside of your injured years, you were kind of like a good luck charm. So you obviously killed it with David Carr that first year. Then you got hurt, came to the league. You got to the Bears. You went straight to the Super Bowl. Then you left the Bears. You came to the Vikings. We won the division back to back. Should have won the Super Bowl, but got cheated. And then you got hurt again, and we fell off. And then wheels fell off after that. But I mean, you never really, other than obviously getting hurt, which it's got to be tormenting. But
yeah,
you won everywhere.
Yeah. I've had success pretty much everywhere. And the only success I really haven't had in a sport was basketball. That's really was all the way dating back to like high school, middle school. But with the Bears, it was pretty much success. It was always, knickknacks, kind of keep me sidelined or trying to put someone else here in front of you and try to work back and get back in that starting role and really fight for it, then solidify and then kind of wish to stay there. I really actually wanted to stay in Chicago. I didn't want to leave. And then come hit free agency and then, trying to change, got to change. Well, all right, let's go to Minnesota. We're going to Minnesota. Let's try to make it happen in Minnesota again. Same thing. And then, started there, had a great year that first season, came out the gate, shut out the gate. And then knickknacks, started getting knickknacks again. I'm the little guy, so knickknacks are going to slow me down. And if anything, like I can't run. It's gonna affect my play. And then trying to get back trying to get back into things and getting back into school with things, and then we make that playoff run. We try to get back into the Super Bowl. Should have won the Super Bowl, and then we missed our window. So that was it. And then goodbye, smooth sailing. And then retirement comes in. So missed my chance to have the real ultimate success in the window, but definitely had for sure success. I got some NFC Championship rings. So
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Bernard. You're a 200, 400 meter guy in high school, right?
For sure.
Are you the fastest guy on the Vikings roster? Are you faster than AP, you think?
Definitely faster than AP. Yeah. Oh yeah. Not the fastest guy on the roster though. No. I would have to give it to it would have either been Percy or who else was fast? I heard there was a sleeper or somebody. He wasn't really a starter, but he was super fast as hell too.
Are you talking corner?
Yeah, he played defense. He was fast as hell too. I can't remember
his
name though.
Asher out? No,
it wasn't Asher. He was fast too though, but it wasn't him.
No, Antoine Winfield.
But I'd probably have to give it to Percy.
Yeah, Twan was like a killer though with the tackling though. So who was another like aggressive guy that you just hated going up against in practice? I know when you talked to Ron Johnson, you mentioned Peanut Punch Tillman.
Yeah,
but who's like another dog that you just like kind of hated to go against?
God, I couldn't stand Peanut. God damn, really
yeah, I bet.
For real. But who was another person that was kind of like that? Cedric Griffin was like that actually. Cedric Griffin was like that actually. I liked his attitude when he came to practice. Every time, every rep, you were going to get the best out of Cedric, and I like that about him. He competed for sure every rep, so I did it. I like that. Yeah.
Who were the guys?
It was underrated for him.
What's that? He definitely was underrated a little bit for sure. But Antoine was a freaking beast. One of the smartest players you ever come across too, for sure. Knew anything, studied the game very well, very well. But just smart. Used his body and knew what to do with his body. Like amazing.
So coming into the league, did you look up to guys like Randy Moss, like as a wide receiver? Obviously, he was top of the game before you got in. Like, was that somebody you looked up to?
For sure. Hell yeah. My favorites. There's three people in my favorite football players: Jerry Rice, Barry Sanders, and Deion Sanders. Those are my three favorites.
All different.
I tried to mimic. Yeah, I tried to mimic their game when I touched the ball. I tried to be one of three of those players every time I touched the ball. So those are my three for sure. I definitely idolized Moss. Was when you're playing. When I was a kid, that's when the term Moss came out. Like that's all you talked about was getting Moss. And when you saw it, when you first saw Moss on TV and like his highlights and the things he did, like there's no comparison. Like the athleticism is crazy off the charts. And then actually when he got to Minnesota and to see the athleticism at such an old age, like Moss was old, like when he got here, and he was still like, damn, this dude is quick. Like he's lightning quick. So it just lets you know, like, I really wish I could have seen him live when he was in his prime.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what was that like in 2010? Because he only came for such a short blip, and it was so mired with, controversy and the, different things that happened to him. Like, was that bittersweet that like he shows up in the same locker room and then it just kind of burned out?
I mean, it was. I liked it that he came because, like, at the time we were struggling. There was things that weren't going on in the offense that we thought should have been, and you can only say so much, and then after that, like, it's not going to get done. So I was happy when he came, and I was like, all right, yes, we're going to get to see some changes now because I know he's going to say something about something. I know he's going to say something. So he gets in there, and then they can't take it because Moss's mouth is. and he can't take it, so they shipped him out is just as quick as he got in. But it was good. It was great for the time being there because he did definitely open some eyes on what things that needed to be seen.
Gotcha.
So who was the receivers coach there at that time? Was it I can't remember now. George Stewart. That's right. Yep. With a deep, gravelly voice, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Big George. Big
Yeah.
George. He's working for the NFL. Actually, he's up in the front office now.
Okay. Are there any of the guys you still talk to that were on that team?
Shit, gosh, goodness gracious. Sid, just like that, like Sid and all that, we were just at the alumni. Jamarcus still talk to, AD still talk to. Freaking goodness gracious, man.
AD, man. So he's gonna have one more year here, huh?
Oh yeah. He's gonna come back and get his retirement on. I mean, Fred Givens. Jeez. Who's that?
No QBs.
How about like
No
Fred
QBs.
Smoot or any of those guys?
Oh.
No, that was before my time.
Oh,
I didn't know
gotcha,
Fred. Yeah, I didn't know Fred. I didn't know Smoot.
No.
Just names people.
Antoine, I actually run into Antoine every now and then. That's what's funny. I'll run into Antoine.
Where?
It's crazy how his kid is balling right now, man.
He's balling. Yeah, that's what's crazy about being out of the game now is players that we played with, like their kids are in the league, like playing around. I remember like DK Metcalf when I was in Chicago. DK used to be a ball boy, just running around at camp all the damn time.
Crazy.
Was that Eric Metcalf? Is that right? Yeah.
Eric Metcalf. Yeah,
Antoine Winfield Jr.
Antoine Winfield Jr. Yep, same thing. We used to have gambling nights at Antoine's house. Hurry up, get in the shower, get in the tub, kids. Hurry, all this, all that stuff. So now seeing them balling in the league, it's funny. It's hilarious.
So you still come back to me. You live in Fresno now, but you still spend some time in Minnesota. You said you spend some time in Chicago. Which one? Like, are you still active with both teams? Do you prefer one team?
No, yeah, I'm definitely still active with both teams for sure. I come back at least one. Like I said, I do come back at least once a year for a game. I try to make a Chicago game. Definitely, I'm like I said, I'm a 49er fan. So usually when I'm coming, like they're playing the 49ers, you're definitely going to see me at that game.
Are you going to root for Niners?
Vikings. Yeah, I'm a Niner fan.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Blasphemy. Stop that.
I know. Everyone
Stop
curses
that, Bernard.
It's hilarious when I get on and start talking to me. You're like, you're a Niner fan? What? Well, I'm Cali kid, man. It's all I knew. Jerry Rice, that explains the Jerry Rice about that. It's all I knew. It's all like Win California, Channel 47. That's the only game that was ever going to be on TV. Like that's all we can get. So it's not my fault. But and then I'm a Bulls fan, so that was the only thing on TV too. And there's Jordan at the time, so it makes it easy, very very easy. But yeah, I visit. Like I said, I still own my place in Minnesota, so I come back. Nice, easy place to stay. Easy, make it easy. Get to US Bank Stadium. Walk. I walk there, so it's fun. I like Minnesota. It's fun at the time, especially when it's warm. It's nice out. The lakes are easy and accessible. Walking into whatever lake I want to walk to, have fun. I usually try to take my kids out there. During the 4th of July is a great time. Like I'm planning to come out there this year for 4th of July too.
Little lake.
And probably get out there on the lakes. Probably I might be out there for like 2 weeks at a time. So we'll see. Chicago, same thing. I try to get back for a game, at least one game, and then some of the alumni events for sure that they have. Same thing with Minnesota alumni events. Definitely in there for that. Just got an email today about the next. I think it's the alumni game on the 10th against the Saints. So I'm planning on probably coming to that one because I got some Fresno teammates that are new Saints members. So that'll be an interesting game.
That's cool. So they still treat you well. We don't have to send in any messages to Kwesi and tell him he's fucking up.
Oh, no. Please do. On my behalf. No, please go ahead. They still treat us they treat us very well, but please do.
Okay, good.
Actually, you guys were chatting beforehand about blowing the horn at the game, and I loved this. So I kind of want you to re-ask that question.
Absolutely, yeah. So you got to blow that horn, and what everyone wants to know who doesn't get to blow it, you actually blow into the horn, or it's just a button?
Yeah, you do. Press? You do. Yeah, you definitely blow into the horn for sure. It's not just no automated sound or anything. It's actually fun. It's not as hard as people think. You think it would be hard. You got to take this big old breath, but it's actually pretty easy.
That's awesome.
That's disappointing. I wanted it to be like a hard thing where you gotta practice. Like
some breath passes. Breath make this happen. Like they're gonna fire you. Everybody's gonna be pissed now.
Just like that.
So, what's your take on the 2023 Vikings going into the season? You think that what do you think is sport prediction? Not sport prediction. What do you think like your interpretation of the team's going to be? Is it going to be a team that's going to be hardcore rebuild, or you think we can actually make a little bit of a deep run in the playoffs?
I think first of all, I'm pissed off about Dalvin Cook. I think y'all should have signed. I think you should have re-signed Dalvin Cook for sure. But
not for the money though, but I do feel you on that. He's a dynamic player. Definitely.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Gotta pay some people you gotta pay. There's some people you gotta do it.
We have a lot of people who gotta pay though.
Yeah. There's some small chatter about him coming back. I don't know about that, but we'll see. So? I know Kirk floated it out there, but I don't know.
I can see it happening. I can see him coming back.
If he's not getting like $10 million a year though, he's gonna have to realize that, come to terms with it. But yeah, the money thing is, I'm sure, very weird in the NFL because it's like it's a business, but you also like the roster and things like that, right? For sure. So I'm sure you were pretty torn. Like you mentioned, you really like Chicago, you want to stay there, right? But it's just always going to come down to what's best for you and your family, right?
Yep, it's all it comes down to. It sure does. It does. It's a hardcore business. It's a hardcore decision.
And that running back market is just rude. Like
it's crazy now.
Unbelievable. Like wide receivers. I'm happy wide receivers getting paid. You know, Devontae Adams, what JJ is about to get. It's going to be crazy. But then you see running backs and they get nothing.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, it's expendable. They're the expendable, the position. It's sad to say, and it's sad to like, but that's what it is. And they're getting treated that way. And it's bad. But I mean, I think it's going to come back around because the game, like the way the game's going, like if I feel like that position is kind of getting less utilized, but the way it's kind of, you see kind of now coming back, the big powerful running back is kind of coming back in the game, like with the Titans, Derrick Henry. Like you see that type of back coming, like starting slowly, trying to implement its way back. And the reason is because the game always, it's always going to forever evolve. Defenses are always going to eventually catch up. So all the offenses, all the spricks, boom, get it to little guys. Defenses are catching on to that now. So what happens? How do we beat that now? Oh, we got to go back to bigger, stronger, powerful more. So you're going to see that game kind of try to come back again. But the NFL will find some way somehow to kind of change the rules to keep the points scoring because people want to see points. So and excitement. So
what are you up to now? What do you got going on?
I got a lot going on. Besides like all the investments and the individual entrepreneurship stuff, restaurants, hedge funds, like I do like my philanthropic venture now is more financial literacy, helping people kind of build their own brokerage through finances in everyday practices, really doing that. Life insurances, mortgages, debt elimination, pretty much everyday finances, and making sure they're staying on track to eliminate debt and then be able to retire at a comfortable age.
Nice.
And then you don't have your feet up, Bernard, huh? It's not retirement for you. You got a second career now. Wow.
I mean, it's been I've had my feet up for like 12, 13 years, to be honest with you, but I had definitely enjoyed retirement. That was my goal going into the league and making sure that it was going to stay that way when I was coming out of the league. I didn't want to have to work for anybody. Right. If I was going to work, they're going to be on my own terms. I'm the boss. I'm not working for anybody. Like I knew that at a young age. Like this athlete thing it's got to work because 9 to 5. I was a military kid. Like I'm not doing this. Mm-hmm. Not happening. So
I bet,
yeah, like I'm not working like this every day. 9 to 5. No, it's not going to happen. So I wanted to make sure that I was going to be stable and to do whatever I want to do when I got out of the league and be able to sustain that lifestyle to be able to do literally whatever I want to do for the rest of my entire life and make sure everybody was set. If they need something, whatever, boom, I can take care of it. This person needs something, boom, I can take care of it. So that's a position I put myself in. I want to put other people in that position too as well. And so that's why I kind of chose when I got presented with this financial literacy opportunity. I was on my own kind of embark to do my own 501c3 nonprofit. I always wanted to do one kind of when I was in the league, but my financial advisor at the time kind of advised me, it was like, I don't know if you really want to do that. It's not too smart sometimes to do that because it's good to do. You want to go out and you want to get out and help people. But if you can't get the grants you're going to be obligated to pay for those grants, and it starts to become a money pit. And you just get there and you start sucking in money. And a lot of players go broke that way. And I was like, oh, dang, okay. So I kind of pushed that off to the side. But I still kind of wrote out my own plans for one and still, went out and devised what I wanted to do and sectioned off everything. So financial literacy was one of like the factions in the 501c plan that I wanted to do. So when I got presented with this opportunity, I was like, I kind of like this. I like the structure. It's easy. It's very affordable. It's free. I was like, I'll get my licenses. I get all my licenses because I've always wanted to be interested on just taking care of my own finances anyway. So when I find out I can get all my licenses, I said, oh, all right, I'll do it. So I started doing it and I found out what it really was. And I was like, oh, I do like this. So now this is what I do. And I try to help other people build their own business doing that. And
that's really cool.
That's where I'm at now.
Awesome. I heard you're in Shack too.
Yes, for sure. I love, like every time I go back, I'm taking everybody to Smack Shack and I'm sending them over that way. What's that?
Is Sneaky Pete still partners in that too?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I used to work for them back in the day, so
I love them. Me and those guys are like this.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So
we're actually me and this guys from Sneaky Pete's are actually partners. We're in our own group in Smack Shack.
Okay.
So what's your favorite memory or moment with the Vikings?
Besides the 99-yarder,
we can recap the 99-yarder. Tell me how that felt, man. Because that was at home. You got the whole field. You burned the defender. Like, what was that like?
You almost got caught, Bernard, too.
Never, ever in my life. But I mean, it was that situation, that play, that whole series was really kind of epic. Not just on the opposite side, but it started with the defense for one. I think it was like not just 4, but I want to say it was like 5 downs inside of the 10. 4 of those downs I wanted to say were like inside of the 3, inside of the 2. So it was a great defensive stance for one. We get the ball, we go on offense, we come out. I'm always, since a kid, ever playing Pop Warner, ever since we ever practiced, being on that 1-yard line. Hey, coach, if we throw this bomb, I can score very, very easily. Let's just end it real quick. Throw the bomb. I've said it from Pop Warner to high school to college. every function I've come across. That's awesome. And finally, we get in this situation where I don't say a word about it. I don't, because it's like we're in the NFL. They're not going to throw this bomb. It's never going to happen. I'm not saying anything, whatever. And then we come in. I hear the play call. We get the play call, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" I start sitting in my pants, sweating. All of it, the whole nine, because I'm like, I know he's coming to me. He's coming.
Don't drop it.
So we get in the office. We get in the huddle. I'm like, and it's a while. It's because the change of downs, we just changed down. So TV timeouts are going out. So you're in the huddle for a while. Everyone hears the play. They already know the play. So we're in there for a while. I'm in there like, guys, hey, please don't jump off sides, all right? We're gonna land. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna land this play.
Don't hold.
Don't jump off sides.
Don't hold.
So did you think the safety was gonna come down on the drag, or what? Can you walk me through that a tiny bit?
That part did not. But so the coverage is cover 3 at the time. And I know Peanut likes to cheat from playing with Peanut and the Bears. Like we're practicing all day. I know Peanut like the back of my hand. So I actually thought the ball was going inside. So when what the quarterback's taught to do, he's usually taught it's all goes. He's usually taught pump one way, go the opposite way to affect the safety, get the safety fly away, throw away from the safety so he can't play the ball. Can't tip it away, make the pass break up. So he pumps, but what Peanut does is Peanut's trick. He's got cover 3, so he's already back. He's not thinking he's going to get beat deep, so he's going to take and he's going to cheat inside, so he can try to take away that throw to the inside go. So what Peanut does is on the pump, I'm going to get, instead of just making the play and try to pace, I'm going to get this interception. So on the pump, he breaks and he flies. So I thought the way he flew, I thought the ball was actually going that way. I kind of just started to kind of coast a little bit. Then you hear the crowd starts roaring. Usually it's silent. You don't hear anything because you're so focused in and locked in on the game. You don't hear a single sound. And I heard the crowd roar. So I look up. I'm like, that sounds like balls coming. I look up, balls in the air. put on the gas, go get it.
No way. That's how it went
Yeah.
down. You allow the crowd to kind of like dictate if the ball's at. Wow, I didn't even think of that.
That was the only time that's ever happened. I've never ever heard the crowd before. It was just they were so loud because 99-yard touchdown's about to come, balls in the air. Gus throws it in the air high enough. Gus has an arm like that where he can lob it in the air long enough. If you got a quarterback who's got a strong enough arm and they can lob it in the air high enough, no matter how far it goes, I'm going to get to it. That was my skill. Like I can track the ball. As soon as that quarterback lets that ball go, I know where it's going to land. And I'm a track guy, so I get faster. 200, 400 guy, I get faster and faster as we go down the field. That ball's down the field, I'm going to get to it.
That was a
Wow.
man.
99 yards.
Oh, we got to.
Should have changed your number. They didn't let you back then. Would have been all linemen.
Yeah, it was a big old tank.
Awesome.
That's my dog right there.
I know you got to take your kid, so I don't want to hold you up all day, but
He's got to go see grandma and grandpa.
yeah, you got to go see the family.
Next
Anything else
time
you
you're in
guys?
LA, come do Vikings Weekly live. We got a nice little setup here at Barney's.
Put on a Niners game.
Yeah.
For you. You can have fun.
Ah, there we go. We'll sit down. We'll chop it up for sure there. Like we're about to eat these Vikings up. No, I definitely got for sure. When I come out there, I'll definitely hit you guys up. You guys are out there, so we'll come out, hang out.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome, man. It's so nice to see you again. Thank you again for everything. And yeah, take care. We lost John anyway, so it's just us.
All right. Tell John later for me then. All right, catch you.
Thank you so much, man.
Bye.
All right, appreciate it.